Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Arches. I'm the host, Dr. Daniel Noorthoek. With me today I have Lillia, our treatment coordinator extraordinaire. Welcome, Lils.
Thank you.
So today we're going to be talking about what makes a full arch result, what goes into making a good, beautiful smile, sort of the stuff behind it, kind of what are the components, psychology, all of that stuff. And so we're excited to have you here today so you'll provide good insight on kind of the other aspect, the intangibles, if you will, right? Yeah. The stuff that you kind of deal with head on all the time. And so from my aspect, what makes a good full arch is, a case that's ethically ready for a full set of teeth removal, patient that we'll say behaves well in surgery, is of a right mindset, ready to go, goes smoothly, is safe, all of those typical things. But then there's the other side that you deal with a lot, which is,
everything. Yeah. I mean, on my end, obviously financing and prescriptions and all that stuff, just getting it prepared for you aside. I think for me, it's a lot of, we've talked about in the last episode, the psychology behind it for patients. My main priority is the patient happy? Are they, mentally doing well throughout this process? Or, I think I feed off of, I don't even know what that personality type is, but I feed off of that energy. And me being one of usually the first, team members that they meet during that consult, I pick up quickly like their personality. So if they're not that same bubbly person, in that consult or before surgery, and then it's day 3, I'm like, okay, immediately go to the team, I'll go to our team, I'll go to the doctors, hey, let's figure out what's wrong with this patient, and it can be as simple as their stomach hurts from, just whatever. It's nothing, at all related to us. But for me, it's making sure that patient is happy from start to finish, really. So.
Yeah. What does the profile of the patient, does it vary a lot from sort of beginning to the middle to the end? Do they all sort of follow the same ebb and flow, sort of roller coaster-y kind of ride? Or are there trends that you see, or are you able to kind of pick up sort of initially how everything is going to go?
I'd like to think I'm pretty good at picking it up from the start, and it is an emotional time, so I don't judge anybody on that, roller coaster of emotion. Super emotional. So, but yeah, I think I can get a good feeling for the patient. And again, I'm there to make sure that their treatment is good from start to finish, or at least that's my goal. But I would say it is similar trends, whether it be the day of the surgery, maybe a little bit more emotions. It's normal to have, not even in the chair, it's more so the prior to going back, some tears or maybe excitement. It's a very emotional day for them. They are a little orally sedated, so that I think helps. But to the next day, it's them being like, wow, surgery was way easier than I was expecting, and I don't remember the positives. And then it's another, I want to say loop of the roller coaster is trying in the first set of teeth and managing expectations of, hey, this is our first try-in, this is our first prototype. Tomorrow, and 90% of patients are over the moon already with that little preview they see with that first day. And then this next day, it goes up and down. Then it's the finals, and maybe day 3, it's the peak of pain. So It is just managing that roller coaster and making sure it's nothing that we can tweak on our end to make it smoother for them.
The yo-yo of emotions. Yeah, for sure.
Yo-yo. And I'm an emotional human being as well. So again, it's just making sure that if it's something we can do, we'll do it. If it's just the healing process, we're there as a friend for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all are drawn to have empathy and try to fix anything that needs to be fixed. But there is a sort of mechanical part of it that just it is what it is. And so you just have to be support rather than, adding to or trying to fix it.
Yeah.
I would say probably from a psychological standpoint, what makes a good case is, in general, as a trend, patients who come in with a positive attitude generally will end up with a better result.
Yes.
And that's even from an objective standpoint, right? Like from a way that their surgery goes, from a way that their experience in picking the teeth goes, to even the final result, to even better things happening to them, not having complications. Which is a weird thing because that shouldn't alter anything. But by positive, I don't mean come in all excited with a banner and streamers and pom poms. I'm saying an overall, I know this is what I need. I do not like the dental chair. I don't like the experience. I don't like pain. Those are all fine. That doesn't make a person negative.
Of course.
It's the person that comes in with sort of this optimistic view. Just as a random, intangible thing that may not be able to be discovered why that happens. But those are the people that generally, you know.
We've talked about that a lot, just in the office. To you and I think in past years of the difference between that experience with somebody that is open-minded and who trusts us and has full faith in us throughout the process. It's night and day. And it's not to judge anybody that maybe can't see things from that point of view, but the power of like a positive mental state makes a big difference.
It really does. Just thinking to like golf, you know, when you hit a putt and the ball's rolling towards the hole, sometimes somebody will say something like, "Oh, that's in. Good job," you know, and they don't go in. 9 times out of 10 when that happens, it's considered bad luck to say it. And it's almost like that when a person will mention something like, "Oh man, this and this. I know this person that got an infection. This person that got an infection." It's almost like they force the ball out of the hole. You know?
And it becomes every little thing can be nitpicked. And I think that's where it kind of spirals downhill. But again, a good team will help that patient and like, you know, show them the positives and show them, you know, how far they've came to at least get to wherever part of the process they're in. So them being open to, again, it's normal to have like that fear, that anxiety. But if they get into that more negative mindset, being accepting to our team, you know, our advice and our
putting
suggestions.
Up the walls can really like barricade us out and not let us fix things as well as we want, which is why we're so like intentional about our communication is mostly so that we don't get locked out, so that we can address and fix anything that might be an issue.
For sure.
So we've got the psychology and the way that those things roll, that goes into a good result and a good case. And then you have aesthetics, right? So then the prototyping that starts with my initial records. I've got to kind of get it somewhere in the right ballpark when I'm doing the surgery. And then we pass that on to the prototype. And so what are the things that you see that go into overall kind of like how the aesthetics play out with Dr. Lax's role and the restorative dentist? I don't mean to just say Dr. Lax with Tampa as well. But what are the things that you see, you know, do you see a lot of people making a lot of changes? Like what goes into making a good result aesthetic, right? So there's some, let's just kind of speak in generalities. There's the 87-year-old that doesn't care that we still have to tweak in. That we have to convince needs to be tweaked in. And then there's the 35-year-old who wants female that wants 97 more visits. Like what makes that a good result start to finish?
I think the patient just being open to what their goals are. I think some patients, it's harder to express like what needs to be changed because as you know, like in the restorative team knows on either office, like there's a lot of changes we can do to get them to their goal, their smile goal, I guess a good smile design goal. But it's them just being open about maybe I don't like this design or maybe, I think not everybody, but some patients that are harder to get to that point maybe hold that in or don't know how to express that. So I think patients being open, you know, we're not here to get upset if, you know, they don't like the first PTI or whatever it might be. So just conversation with the restorative team. Yes, there's always two ways. It's a patient that comes in that we're, like you said, we're fighting to make their bite, you know, better and forcing them to have another try-in, not forcing, but, you know, suggesting and them just happy with the first set. And then there's the other side of it where a patient who may be a little younger, who may be a little bit in a more vulnerable position of like, wanting it to be
Sure.
perfection. So
Yeah.
just
And we can cater to all of them. It's just that's something that goes into the experience and the result and how everyone's situations flow. And again, we kind of end up on openness, right?
Yeah.
And not putting up a wall and communication.
Yeah.
Probably part of that too is sometimes when they come in with the pictures, not that we dissuade people from coming in with pictures. Pictures can be great as an ideal, but sometimes you'll have a patient come in with something from when they were 17, right? And now they're 67 and they don't look like their picture and they'll want that exact face back. Well, I can get you the smile, but I can't get you the face. I don't have that power.
Yeah.
So being open to seeing yes, those are the shape of my teeth.
Yeah.
My lips don't really fall the same way or something like that.
Exactly. I think that's all stuff that like a good restorative team will, and they'll guide you. And a lot of patients actually come in and they're like, hey, you guys are the professionals. You know what you're doing. You know what you're looking for. On our end, and the restorative team will come in here and speak more on that side of it. But I always hear them say like functionality is number one. We want to make sure that you can function in these teeth, and then and then number two, we want to obviously make sure that you.
They might come in functioning on a tooth, but then
exactly.
they leave functioning on teeth.
There you go. Thanks for the save.
Yeah.
But we want to make functionality number one. Number two, aesthetics. Of course, like we want you to love your teeth and to be crying and head over heels in love, and I would say 99.9% of patients always are. So yeah, I'd say the two.
Another thing that goes to openness as well is you're getting as close to your real natural teeth as you can get, but they're still not your real natural teeth. Yep. They still are something prosthetic. They're not going to have the exact same feeling. Can you get some feeling? Mm-hmm. Yes. Can they start to feel like you're a part of you? Yeah. Yes. But they're always going to have that holdback of they aren't that. Yeah. And that's why you want to not do cases, one of the many, why you don't want to do this work on somebody that doesn't need it. Yeah. But when they do need it, there's a hard part is to convey that we want it to sound and feel and be awesome teeth because it's the best alternative we have, but it's still not going to be what you were born with. Yeah,
I think patients, and I always say I don't know what other offices for full arch their consults are like, but ours can be an hour, sometimes a little over an hour, sometimes 45 minutes, whatever it might be. But we go into so much depth of like what can happen, the openness, the transparency of like, hey, these are not, like you said, they're not your real teeth. But I think patients doing their own research is super important, of maybe hearing what other patients have to say, because we can't tell them exactly what it feels like, but we've heard of the little things that, again, they're not their natural teeth, but it's 100% next best thing to it. And
for sure,
if they need this treatment. Yeah.
And then on top of that, when we have function, right? We all want some people's main motivating factor is aesthetics and getting the bad infections and such out of their mouth or the unknown. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different things that go into this decision. And so therefore, since there's a lot of things that go into why a person did it, there's a lot of things that go into how we address those and what we're going to fix. And one of those being bite, right? Yeah. The comfort and the satisfaction and the enjoyment of food, and being able to be comfortable when you're talking, being able to be comfortable when you're biting. And that really, there's a science behind how teeth come together. There's a science behind how tall those teeth need to be. There's a science behind the strength of the material. You can't go too thin. And even in a weird way, sometimes going too thin, even if the material can hold it, actually plays a role in the way that the patient feels, right? Sometimes making it bulkier makes it feel smaller in a very weird way. And, as much as we want to make it an exact science about how teeth come together, at the end of the day, no matter how many tools and instruments and papers and scanners I have, I'm never inside there, right? I'm never living inside the mouth. And so getting that bite dialed in can be a very personal experience. It can be perfect on our aspect of the spectrum,
Yeah.
but feel off, right?
Yeah.
And there's a management. So what makes a good case is being able to get that result where that patient feels comfortable, but I also feel comfortable with the bite that I'm leaving them with.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I've had times where I'm like, oh, my bite feels high at my own general dentist
Right.
and it looks good to me. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's one of those things is, yes, like trusting the, providers that we have or our team, but also knowing like we're all human too. Like I know our restorative doctors are so quick to say, hey, come in again. Well, let's take a look at it. Let's check it out. Like we won't push you out. And I think a lot of patients are afraid of not being heard, maybe from past experiences, because again, it's a vulnerable experience. This is not their teeth anymore.
Forte.
So yeah.
As we're talking, there's another thing that goes into a good case too. A good outcome is the patient care after the surgery.
Yeah.
Right. I always tell people what I do or what we do is like sending somebody across on a road trip across the country with a Fabergé or something expensive that's fragile across the country, and you're just saying this is how you need to package it, but you're just trusting that they package it and transport it across the country that way.
Yeah.
And that's very much, what we have to live with is we give them a special diet. We give them special instructions. Do they ice afterwards? Are they going to be compliant with meds? Just a little anecdotal thing. Like my grandfather's getting older. He's got congestive heart failure and he has to be on a lot of medications. And he takes like half of them on a whim of what he wants to take. And just looking at that, and I consider him to be like an intelligent, good dude, and even he's only taken half of them. So trusting that a patient takes their medications, takes care of the things correctly, those things all set you up for success. And it can be frustrating when you have a patient that's non-compliant. Yeah,
for sure.
Because we're not going to we can have inklings of maybe they've been smoking, maybe they didn't ice, but we can't call them out because what if they did and they're just a unique outlier?
It's really hard to know, but patients, again, being open to taking your advice and, if they have questions, asking the questions, but reading the instructions, it's not there just for fun. It's there to help you out in the long run, but it's not just like you're going to be offended. It's their investment. So I would say, again, I always say 99.9, but it's true. I think majority of our patients take that time which is a great thing, to learn how to properly clean. I'm sure you'll go over that on another episode. And I know patients have questions on that, but like, how do I maintain this? So patients being willing to ask the right questions and know that this isn't just like a quick fix. Like they have to take care of that is important.
Yeah. The openness to the education is important.
Yes, for sure.
And we've been very intentional about making sure that every word on that piece of paper is there for a reason, knowing that not everyone's going to follow it. Right? That we know not everyone's going to do everything we want them to do. Yeah. And that's okay within reason, but if anything, we over-prepare our patients for what to do and how to handle things because we want that to be, if the average is 50% and it still works, we want them to be 85% and it works that much better.
Yeah. I think we say the same. I know myself, same pre-op instructions. And I even tell patients like, hey, I'm sorry. I think I'm annoying. I feel like I'm annoying, but I want to make sure that you are prepared and you have everything you need prior. I don't want you scrambling the day of surgery. I want you comfortable because, again, that's going to make their experience that much easier. Right. So I think it all goes back to just patients being open to asking questions or, listening to, again, you've done it how many years? Like you know all the tips and tricks of what'll keep them comfortable.
Yeah, and we also, from doing a lot of cases, know the sort of pain points and when to like re-hammer that in. Yeah. And sometimes you get this, let's say, I don't know, once a week, once every 2-3 weeks, whatever it is, you'll get a consult that's, I know everything about this. I want it done, and I want it done now. Yep. So I'm ready to go. I have the cash. Where do I send it? And I'll be there tomorrow. That's fine. You can still come in tomorrow. You can still send your cash, but you're going to sit here and you're going to listen to everything. Not because I'm a jerk, but because I want you to know everything. Yeah. Right? If it's like buying a car, if I'm going to sell you a used car that has a funny little part that you need to worry about with the power windows and you got to kick the trunk a couple times to get it open. I don't want you to be sold on it and just buy it and then not know how to open the window or how to kick open the trunk. I want to be able to sit down and tell you, like, this is how you got to do this. So there is a point, too, where the perfect case that comes in and falls out of the sky that says, I'm ready to go, they still have to sit there and listen to it. And that can be frustrating, or it can be difficult for them and us.
Yeah, I've had that a good bit. And I think it's because hopefully, you would hope that it's because they've done the research on us. But there's so many ways of doing it out there that it's an extra level of like mental protection for me, knowing, hey, I've told this patient everything I've needed to tell them. They have everything they need. And now I can feel good about them. And at the end of the day, hopefully they listen, but like, and they, I think majority do, but yes, there's so many ways out there. So I don't want them to take something from their last office consult and kind of merge it together with what we do. When you and other Den and One doctors go through the step, like, it's an extra reassurance on my end as a treatment coordinator. Hey, that patient knows everything. I'll come in and finish it up on my end, but I know that they are prepared.
Yeah, it's not going to drop out of the sky that they didn't know that it was a soft diet.
Yeah, they know about the soft diet. They know what they're getting themselves into. Like, they're ready. So
the faces that we used to make when there were times back in the day, I always make fun of like other offices and stuff that I've done. They get a post-op sheet and it's been photocopied over time. I mean, something I'm very, very, I'm not particular about a lot. Something, as you know, that I'm very particular about is that every version of post-op is on a color sheet that was printed right away. Specifically because there's so many offices out there that I used to work at that the post-op sheet would become skewed over time. It was just a Xerox. Somebody had written in pen over it, whited it out, and was just a copy. And the message doesn't come in clear. Yeah. And you walk into a patient and you never know what you're going to get. Like, hey, your implants all failed. Any idea why? Were you eating the soft diet? And they look at you like, soft diet?
Yeah, what is that?
I've been eating jerky and I've been eating good, clean diet, all paleo jerky. And that comes from being very particular about certain things, like the way that we present our message and such. So that goes definitely into the good outcome. Yeah. And with a patient responsibility. Of course, like you said, having the finances sort of dialed in first, and that can be a tricky one sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it can be even last minute, but having that come in kind of makes things smooth. Yep. Having the reps at bat, especially with us having so many patients come from out of state. Yeah. Having a sort of ecosystem where they can come sort of without a lot of preparation for their travel and all of that, and know that it's taken care of. But there's like the other side for us is that we know where that patient's going to be. Yep. We know where they're going to be staying. We know where to pick them up. Yep. And so for us, it gives us a peace of mind that their outcome will be smooth and easy, because we also, I don't want to say control. It's not like we're sitting there outside of
of course not.
their hotel room. But when we started this, it became where things flowed much better, not only for their experience, because we know that they're getting from the airport, et cetera, but we're also, in a way, in control of their schedule enough that they can kind of plug out, if you will, and just focus on healing. Yeah,
I think that's a big thing is patients, they're already overwhelmed with like, oh my gosh, if I am traveling out of state and having this big procedure, the last thing, and I heard in a consult today, is like, oh my gosh, thank gosh you have a travel package, because I don't want to, so you're telling me I don't have to book my flights? I'm like, no, like, we'll make sure you're happy with the flight options, but our travel coordinator will take care of it. I don't even think of it as like a control thing. I think they're just relieved to not have to make another decision, because it's already a big enough decision as it is that they're making.
That really changed some of as we're talking about outcome, that really changed part of the game, was getting that established. Oh
my gosh, they love it.
For patients that maybe were older and might have been confused to make all, it can be overwhelming to make all of those arrangements, to patients that just weren't ever going to have the attention and the focus to do it. So that really kind of changed the game. Where that came from was I was getting a shoulder surgery in Colorado. Well, it's actually where the travel package came from, was multifactorial, but where the actual like establishing where people are going to stay and such, that came from, I went to a place, a well-known institute for my shoulder surgery in Colorado, and I was talking to them about how I would be traveling, and they say, yeah, we have lots of people that travel from out of state. We even, help them with arrangements and stuff. And I was like, great, wonderful, awesome. Yeah. Can't wait to see what your recommendations are and how we're going to set it up. And they slid a piece of paper that was photocopied, from the side.
You had to plan everything.
And it was just like 4 hotels listed, et cetera. Yeah. Like, I have Google. I could have found that myself. But giving the patient that peace of mind goes into it. Yeah. There's also the speech, right? Mm-hmm. Getting the speech correct. And that can be different. Your tongue is different than my tongue, and your cheeks fall different than mine. And that changes over time and the healing and such. And so working with the team and getting that done is important as well. Yeah. But being in a digital world has allowed us the capability of sort of very straightforward saying, no problem, it's going to be fixed. We're not even going to worry about speech. Back in the day when it was dentures, it was very difficult to get the speech. Yeah. You could get a speech issue that just was very difficult to get out of the patient's head or out of the prosthesis. Yeah. And now it's much simpler and much more straightforward.
I think with all the technology that you have invested in the company and everything, I think it's we can get to a point faster in their try-in process. Let's say like second day in, bite is dialed in, and now we can focus on the looks of the teeth, like we said before. You feel something rubbing you here. Okay, now we can address that. Like, how can we change it? So at that point, it's just getting things even more comfortable for the patient.
Yeah. Put sort of like succinctly and to sort of wrap up the conversation. Like, so this last weekend was Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. As you heard I made potato wedges. Yes. And as simple as they have seemed for years, like I missed one step and I made it absolutely the worst experience ever. But it is like cooking, right? There's a lot of things that go into it. Mm-hmm. And one of the, we'll say not secrets, but the way that I cook when I'm cooking for a group, I don't buy just the off-brand cheddar cheese. I buy the one that's folded in the paper, and I buy like the best ingredients I can. And the way in which you put them together can be an issue. The flavor, you can have, say, 2 potato wedges, one made with inferior ingredients and one made with better by the same person in the exact same way, and one will taste better, right? Yeah. There's the ingredient that goes into it, but there's also who and how they assembled and what went on with it and what oven they did it in. All of those things play into whether or not it's a good result, right? Yeah. And also, to parlay it again into mine turned out well. Yeah. But the middle and the frustrating part was so frustrating. Being able to have at least cooked enough in my world to have fixed it and make it so that it wasn't even a blip on anyone's radar for I really screwed these up is also important. Having the capability to kind of save it. Yeah. So it all comes into all of these different things make a case good or bad. Yeah. But when you finally assemble it, does it taste awesome or not? Is it a good potato wedge?
Is it a good potato wedge? Yeah. I think patients see that though too. I think they know. I think they, they see how we do things. They know how to come, what to bring to the office as well. So open, mindset and all that is great, but they trust everything.
Our products and the stuff that we order, we're very particular. We buy the paper wrapped cheddar cheese.
We buy the best cheese.
Yeah. Our zirconia comes in a very nice wrapped and styrofoam box, not in a bulk package that junks around all over the place.
There's a lot that goes into what makes a case a good case. And again, I think we've done all
mindset, product, personnel working on it, the ingredients, all of that stuff is absolutely a key. Yeah. So appreciate your time again, Lils. Always a pleasure. Thank you for listening, watching, like, subscribe, smash that red button, all of that stuff. But we'll see you next time.